What is up, buds? Welcome to WeeDnD, the pop-positive live tabletop role-playing experience. I am your dungeon master, Brandon Allen McClenahan, and I hail from the fair land of Las Vegas, Nevada. Thanks so much, guys. It has been an absolute blast hanging out with you guys every week. All our people in chat, you guys are the best. Honestly, I look forward. If you guys haven't seen the show live on Tuesday, come hang out with us. Twitch.tv/ArtHeart Studios. It is a party in chat every week. You guys have me cracking up, and I absolutely love you guys. Big love to all our buddies out there in chat. You buds are the best. All right, so thanks for dealing with our technical difficulties as we've gone on our adventure here. We do plan to bring the show to you with all of us live in studio, and honestly, I cannot wait to bring it to you that way. But this is what we've done because we just couldn't wait any longer. We wanted to roll out on 420, and that is what we did, and we have just kept that train rolling. So thanks for riding with us, guys. All the messages, reaching out, all our socials and stuff, you're absolutely the best. Nobody could ever ask for anything more from you. So thank you. I love you with all of my heart. So at this point in the show, it is my privilege to introduce you to our very, very sexy cast. And let's take this bad boy right here and tap it off with my girl, Brenna. How you doing, Brenna?
That's me. Hey, buds. Hey, Brandon. Hey, everybody. I'm so excited to be here today. Dude, let's continue this adventure. We got a mean storm coming our way. There's a lot of dudes that are probably real mad at us. So I'm here to do whatever I can as Bruno the CEO of motherfuckers. I'm going to pass this one over to Drew.
Cheers, girl. What's up, buds? Drew, also known as Thoricus Onyx Heart. Yeah, we're in a camp. We're just shooting off skeet sparklers and shooting people with old trusty dusty. I'm excited as shit to see what the fuck happens today. So thanks for joining us. I'm gonna pass this one off to Gus.
Yo, thanks, Drew. What's up, folks? My name's Gus Langley. Tonight I'm playing Divot. He thought he wasn't known, but he's starting to forget it. Ladies and gentlemen, your next cast member is Abby.
Yo, cheers, bud. I'm excited to sink my teeth into this chapter. Let's get into it. 10 of smooth hands, ready to go. Cheers, Jake.
What up? Cheers, Abby. And what the fuck is up, buds? Welcome back to another rad-ass session. Jake Taylor here as Rial Othervine, your arcane trickster elven rogue, and off to the dungeon master so we may begin.
Oh, why, thank you. Don't you love these guys? I freaking love these guys. They make me happy. All right, guys. Well, we have us a little ritual around these parts. Maybe you know about it. Maybe you don't. But we like to take our lighters, hold them up in the air, and then making sure that we're not going to light anything on fire that's around us and sue the WeeDnD show. We then put those up and go, lighters up, baby. Boom. Look at those pretty faces. Let's play some D&D.
WeeDnD, high fantasy, literally for you and me. So load up bowl and make a roll to take control. WeeDnD.
All right, let's do this. Allow me to set the mood. When last we left the Ferocious Five, they stood before the mercenary camp of Buraka, having come in search of the blood of a Medusa to break the curse that caused Divot, Brenner, and Rial to age 20 years in an instant at the hands of the ghost of the Archmagus Ergon. A curse which must be lifted within 24 hours, or its effects will become permanent. Tina has chosen to keep the secret of her shared bloodline with Divot a secret, to prevent the dark and heavy shadow of her familial burden from casting upon her friend and ally. Upon reaching the crossroads in their rented carriage, the five witnessed a ritual taking place, as a large group of mercenaries chanted war cries and ran into the dark murk wood, the dark forest that claws at the back of Thoricus's mind, beckoning him with its dark embrace. At the mention of the name of Brachus the Mired, the mercenaries who remained before the camp attacked the five, and then managed to flee both to the north toward the Mirkwood and the 18 awaiting mercenary warriors within, and to the south through the spiked wooden gates of the town of Buraka, alerting the mercenaries who live within its gates. The drums beat on. All right, guys. So we jump in. You know, you just witnessed that shamanasta that you shot run into the town proper. You hear the cries from inside the city. Hoorah-ka! Hoorah-ka! The sound booming through the air. You hear the beating of the drums coming from the inside of the city, you know, harmoniously getting louder and louder as if more and more drums are joining the chant. The sound pulses through the air and you can feel it hit so hard that it sucks the breath out of your lungs a little bit with each pulse. The last thing that you saw, you know, laying before you in front of this basically rudimentary camp with a cart set up that has a bunch of foodstuffs in it, setting around are a bunch of bedrolls and stones and a big campfire set in the middle. Laying next to that campfire is the dead corpse of one of the mercenaries that Brunor had managed to split their face open with her thrown hand axe. The other two, if you recall, the mercenary ran to the north and the shamanasta ran to the south. So you now have heard this raging battle cry coming from both the north and the south. You stand, you know, near the bottom of that ramp hill, your horse carriage and Brian the crocodile up the way, and things are getting pretty intense. What do you guys do?
Okay, guys, I say we go back to the carriage and get back in the carriage and go backwards a little bit, like, and then when everyone arrives at the same time, we just kind of ride up like as if we are also seeing this for the first time.
I'm hearing everything you're saying, but I'm also trying to put that dead guy's clothes on while you're talking. I'm like, yeah, and can I wear this? Can I look like one of these guys?
All right, so Divot, you have to move up to him. So yeah, you run up to him, Divot. You see, you know, if you remember this guy, he was the one that had the two knives underneath each hand. So he had two bandanas, one that covered his face and one that covered his head. And then he's got the sharp jetting leather shoulder pads and splint mail armor. Is that what you're attempting to do right now? Is disrobe and put his clothes on?
I just want to put on like the shoulder pads and the bandanas, you know, like enough to look like I could be one of them.
Nice.
A uniform, you know.
Brenner, what are you doing?
I'm going back to the carriage. I was walking and talking at the same time.
Nice.
I'm running with Brenner. I'm after her.
Lieutenant Brenner. Rial, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go ahead and showcase one of my new skills. I learned a spell. I learned Silent Image. So I'm gonna create the false image of a rival mercenary, like an assassin lurking in the bushes, but that'll be all the way east. So the direction we haven't seen yet, just kind of like hiding out.
Nice.
Kind of over in that area, yeah. Beyond the campfire.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's the range on that? Could you cast it for me? I don't
Absolutely.
have that off the top of my head. Okay, so while it's in the back of my mind. All right, everybody's got a catchphrase, bro. All right, so Thoricus, what about
kill
you?
these kids.
You see, let's kill these kids. The fantastic Sams. All right, so
man.
Thoricus, you see Divot run out in front of you and literally start like pulling the boots off this dead body. You know, the axe that's in his forehead just kind of like slopping around in the wound and blood pouring out over the blade. You see Rial starts, moving his hands in a fashion that you haven't seen him do before, and this arcane energy starts building in his fingertips. He projects it across the way. Let's see here. You create an image, 15-foot cube,
60 foot.
60 feet. All right, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Just about right there is where you can put this illusionary image.
Okay.
I'm going to copy you and then paste you here. Don't worry about interacting with that other one, but that's where your silent image is. All right, and then that's your action. Do you want to move at all, Rial, or just stay kind of where you're at?
I'm going to go ahead and double back with Tina and Brenor, see if there's anything I can do over by the carriage.
All right, you start running back up the hill. You notice that the earth itself seems to kind of be decaying in this particular region. You've been going through the well-watered roads that lead to Baraka's, in small fields of grass and stuff. And there's still some grass to your left, over by the Mirkwood. But you can see the ground like beneath your feet almost as you're coming down that incline turns to like a thick red and black clay. Your footing isn't exactly fantastic. No difficult terrain or anything. But you find that as you move, your feet are kind of slipping around in this clay. Divot, around about that same time, you do notice that that the boots that you're pulling off of the mercenary on the ground, they seem to have like cleats in the bottom of them. They have like small metal like piton spikes that would ostensibly give you better grip on the ground. So you guys are doing that. Thorkus, what was your move?
Well, I mean, there's only one of those dead guys, right?
Correct.
All right. Well, I guess, I guess I'm gonna go back to the carriage, right? Everyone else is there, so yeah.
25. Do you kind of want to post up on this other side of the carriage there, or a little bit more with the group?
No, I'll be on the flank there.
Okay, cool. So you kind of pull up next to Floppy, one of the dark brown horse on the right side.
Good old Floppy.
And boom, yeah. So you see, it's just kind of like not really responding to the intensity of the moment around it. These horses seem pretty jaded to the environment. All right, so that's basically your first round. Divot, as you are like kneeling down over the corpse of this mercenary, you've successfully managed to pull off like his outer suit of armor, and you're kind of like haphazardly throwing it over you as you go. You pull up the 2 boots, you swap out your own with the boots that have the little spikes and cleats in them, and you find your feet kind of step and engage into this mud a little bit better. These shoes seem to be built for this region. And you're starting to pull the pants off of this guy, and you look up, down, you're kind of even with the path that goes into the Mirkwood where you saw all those mercenaries go, and you look down, and about 100 feet away from where you are, you see 4 guys.
Oh no!
Just hauling ass toward you guys.
From the north or the south, or
it would be. I'm sorry. It's technically from the map you're looking at. It would appear to be the north. That's actually the east because the road goes north.
Okay.
But, so sorry, that might have been confusing. I'll just go relative to the map.
Sure.
So yes, north here, going into the Mirkwood. You see 4 guys coming. Remember, you guys had witnessed 18 rush off, other than the 2 mercenaries that stayed behind with the Shamanasta. So 4 of them, you can kind of see down the path, and they're all just hauling, same kind of brown leather armor. They're running so fast, you just see like the sludge of the Mirkwood kicking up behind their feet. And they're, they seem to be running with purpose. All of them are 4 you have not seen. It's not the one that you saw get away.
What's their demeanor?
They want to ask you about our Lord Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Are they running with their book?
So like nice. We gotta let us church. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a moment to speak about the Lord.
They're skipping and they're like happy and like
Just
leaping and
let's
just
What's their demeanor? Are they exercising? Are they getting their endorphins?
Yeah, they like stop, touch the ground, and then run back the other direction as fast as they can.
Pissed. Are they pissed? Okay.
Now, Divot, you do look to the right, down to the, let's call it the south, down to the south into Baraka, and you don't see, like, the gates are actually shut before you, so you see, like, a bunch of wooden planks, all the wood cut from the Mirkwood, brought across and sharpened, planted to create this barrier around this city. What you see on the inside is just the outline of a couple tents that have, like, big animal tusks and spikes jetting off of them. It's a very, very welcoming place. And so, yeah, but you see commotion through, like, the slit in the door, but you can't really make anything out. So you're not really sure what's happening to the south. You just hear the increasing drums building and building. Like, now you can definitely make out at least 5 different drums.
Okay, I want to just beeline towards the rest of the group as fast as I can.
All right, so like 1 foot in the pants, you're like, oh gosh, you start seeing the guys come. Go ahead and give me as you run, give me a deception check. Let's see how well your costume works.
All right.
And then I'm gonna move. You
All
have 35, 10, 15. Or wait, does Halfling have 25? 5, 10, 15.
He said he's
You
the
said
quarterling,
deception.
technically.
Gus doesn't.
yeah, deception.
Yeah,
I'm an
deception.
8-ling.
All right, so you guys see, you guys notice Divot turns his head, and just by the affected change in his demeanor, something's up. That tapestry still flowing from his back like a cape. He grabs the pants with one hand, proceeds to do a cartwheel, and while he's in cartwheel, he pulls the pants over his middle, ties the cinch,
yes.
and then back handsprings the second half of it, and then just starts running. And at first you're like, oh, is that one of the mercenaries? Because he's really good at deception. And then you're like, oh wait, no, that's Divot. We can tell. And so yeah, he starts running, and he gets right there to the base of that area. We're just gonna move right down. We'll kind of continue popcorning this. Rial, what do you do?
Let's see. So do I spy any of the things that Divot and Thorgus were able to see?
So no, from where you're at, you kind of just can see like that big totem. Remember, it has the circle with all the 8 eyes painted all over it, with the wooden stones at its base, the green banner there in the north. You see that one, standing wall, probably like 10 sharpened wooden posts that stick up, serving as some kind of like entrance to this path that leads into the Mirkwood. You still, you have a line that you can see the Mirkwood a little bit, but not the trail. And that same dark, like pulling energy, you kind of hear Ergon's tickle in your head. You're just like, ha 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 ha.
Where at?
You shake it off
Which
real
part
quick.
of my head?
Let's say
The front of my mind?
Yeah,
Back.
I like the back of your mind. So you hear that laughter in the back of your mind. I have to touch it too when I say that. Anyway, so
That's what
yeah,
you said.
so you don't, however, see any of the people. You hear the beating of the drums. You see your silent image across the way. What did you want that silent image to look like?
Definitely a masked assassin, someone they couldn't identify right off of the bat.
Another mercenary of some kind. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
So
And- Yeah, to that effect, I've seen Divot donning the clothes of the other fallen mercenary. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop a shot or two into his corpse. That way, if we need to blame the silent image and use that, at least we can say, "Hey, he's dead. He went
Okay.
that away."
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and give me an attack roll with your bow. Strangely enough, you get disadvantage because it's prone, it's on the ground, and you're shooting from distance. So you pull out an arrow with great alacrity, slide it out, line it up, and knock it. And you're trying to shoot at the giant X-covered man that's laying on the ground.
Can he do it?
Nice. Even with disadvantage, a 19
drop.
and a 20, like the 19's definitely good enough. You see, you actually try to, you're like looking at, you start setting up the shot, and then you tilt your bow a little bit, almost like setting up English on a shot in pool. You tilt the arrow just a little bit, you shoot it, and you see it bounces off of a little rock and sticks just over the shoulder, almost like showing that the arrow came from the other direction. So accurate was your shot. So it looks like your silent image shot the arrow into it.
Hell yes.
All right.
It's my best friend.
And yeah, your silent image, just because ninjas are dope. He's got the black bandana tied back, a big skull and crossbones with a red X across it, and he just looks like you're having a nightmare about a mercenary chasing you. It would look like this guy. So he's posted up on the other side. Do you want to move or anything, or stay where you're at?
I'll go ahead and stay by the carriage. Yeah, no move.
Okay. So you kind of like step back a little bit. You have a horse on either side of your shoulder. Just they're kind of starting to feel the tension inside of your bodies. You're all. It's a palpable thing right now. And so Tina, you're up. So you see Rial sling an arrow into this corpse on the ground with a pretty proficient shot, bouncing it off of a nearby rock that you see over by the campfire there. What does Tina do?
Right, so I'm up next to Brenor right now, and I feel so indebted for her keeping my secret already, so I am behind whatever plan she's setting up, and I am picking up this Trojan horse that she's setting up, so I look her in the eyes, I look you in the eyes, Brenor, and I cast Pass Without Trace on our party, and I say, let's do this.
So, Pass Without Trace, first time we're casting it on the show, so I'll explain it for you guys. A veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection for the duration. Every creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a +10 bonus to stealth checks. And cannot be tracked except by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of his passage. Divot, you're running, you feel the cleats biting into the red and brown mud, getting perfect traction, almost propelling you even faster, certainly designed for this region. And as you step, suddenly you feel the cleats biting the earth, but when you pull your foot up, the earth stands unmoved. The little pegs and pokes from your boots are no longer making a mark, and you feel like you're moving a little faster. This magical swirl of white energy emanates from each of you guys. You all notice your weight shifting on the ground a little bit differently. You've never been under the effects of this spell before, but you can feel you have a natural. There's like a haze that's echoing around. As you guys try to look at each other, it's even a little difficult.
Kind of a haze.
That haze.
Brenner,
so,
we can save this Medusa.
Yes, let's do that. I think we can do this together. Let's do it.
The ladies of the Five build their resolve. Brenor, after this boon received from Tina Smoothhands, the white light washing over you and granting you with this new, faded form, what do you do?
So with this, are we gonna? I don't know yet if they're gonna be able to see us, right? Because I don't want them to. Okay, maybe I'm just pushing the horses backwards.
Okay. So you want to move back up. So you see, the horses are on the carriage, and they're all connected by one of those wooden, beams that goes across. I'm sure there's a name for it.
Yeah.
Somebody's
A yoke.
a name for it.
Yoke.
Rules explained. I'm looking at you. The cart itself, you
Wagon
start just kind of like
tongues.
pushing on the horse board, and the horse board starts moving backwards.
Yeah.
You see, as you're pushing, you look over the side, and you see either end of Brian the Crocodile posting out. Remember one of the doors got busted when he got all excited, and so it's just kind of hanging there on one hinge. And you see, even as the horses move backward, his neck is kind of stretched out, just trying to bite at this nearby patch of flowers. And he's completely not paying any attention to what the intensity of the moment. So yes, you will be able to manage, because going backwards with a carriage, definitely that's difficult terrain. Half the speed, I will say the entire thing can move back 10 feet. So
Cool.
it's a little bit off the map there, but bear with me, it's over there.
I just want to, no matter what, ride up as if we just got there.
What's going on here?
How did this happen? Yeah, I want to.
I am just as concerned.
Yeah,
We shot one of them, right?
from the other direction, right?
All right, so that's so Thoricus, your turn. It jumps over to you. You see Brenor pushing on the horse post as the horses step backwards. And Brian, you see his tail wiggling in defeat as he can't reach the flowers that he yearns for so desperately. And so what does Thoricus Onyx Heart do? Now even you, proficient on the battlefield, you're starting to hear the pounding of footsteps adding to the drum beat. People are definitely coming.
Yeah. God, I don't. What's up, Gus?
I just want to get the fuck out of here.
I know.
But we gotta go to the camp to get the Medusa.
I know. It's scary though.
We have to do it.
Scary.
It's okay to be scary.
Do you know who we are?
We're the
Because I don't remember.
Fabulous Five.
Nope, that's not the one.
We're the
Thank you.
Ferocious.
You can do it.
I was beginning to feel the fear.
Thoricus,
Yeah,
you got 10 seconds left. What do you do?
Oh my God. Okay. What I want to do, I guess, if we're gonna fight this, is can I take that cart?
No,
that's
we're not fighting.
We're not fighting.
We're not fighting. We're gonna be like 40 people.
We're gonna help her.
How do we? Okay.
But we're gonna get inside by pretending like, oh, we're just going here. We have nothing
Oh
to
my
do
God,
with this
yeah.
thing.
Look, I'll get on the horse, right? And Thoricus, I'll say that you want to join the mercenary clan. I'm a mercenary. This guy's great. You guys act like you're tied up in the carriage.
Thoricus' turn is over. All right, so.
I'm gonna say you see them on the fucking ridge now.
Yeah. All right. So, boom. The finally it's on their turn. You see the first 4 of the mercenaries run out into the center path.
Yeah, they were coming. I wanted to put the fucking cart in front of the gate and make an obstacle so that we only have to fight some of them and not all of them.
All right. So
Five.
they're gonna take. Let me scroll back here and say, I believe they get a saving throw to be distracted by your silent image, a creature with sound. Yes. Action. So yes, they wouldn't know. So yeah, you see the first 4 of them. I'll explain it kind of in sequence. On the left side, Divot, you kind of turn over your shoulder and you see the 4 guys run out. Each of them, like I said, a little bit of a Mad Max style to these guys, like big giant rectangles and like half trapezoids of leather kind of covering different parts of their face. Each of them carrying a different weapon, one a scimitar, one a war hammer. The other one has a dagger in his hand, and the other one's got like a nice big tasty 2-handed big boy sword. And you see they run out, and each of them, as they stand and look around, they about 2 of them finish their movement running toward the silent image. And then these 2 are going to get a pass perception. Okay, so they are going to run forward with the rest of their move and inspect this body. So right now, neither of them have engaged with you. You see from the south, you hear the pounding drums getting louder as they get closer to you, as it seems like whatever's going on behind that wall is all coming your direction. You see just past, the second guard tower, past the entrance to the gate, you see 3 people step up.
I see 4.
Is there 4?
I got the 3 faces and then the one guy with the axe.
Oh, I'm sorry. That other face was from the last time.
Oh, from the one that we shot.
Yeah, I moved that too. I'll get rid of her.
Sorry.
So yeah, you hear the commotion, pounding from inside the gates as if whatever's coming is coming pretty quick. And just beyond that guard tower, you see, standing up on the ridge, 2 more of the shaman astas. You see these women, very physically fit, standing with 2 giant drum sticks that have a big white foam padded core. They have white dots that accentuate their face in different patterns. Other than that, they look almost identical. Dark tied braids that bang with the music on their face as they drum in series. Standing between them is the largest half-orc that you have ever seen. He stands nearly 7.5 feet tall, and he's just built with massive muscles like Arnold in Predator, just like straight jacked.
That's a good reference. Yes, yeah. Like that.
Just like that. He's covered in mud for some reason. 7 feet tall, and you see that the orcish part of his heritage has left him with this strong underbite. He's got these 2, big giant hooked fangs that dip out from his underbite, and he stands up super strong, holding Drew. All of a sudden, you're like, Thorcus is like, ooh. He's holding this big, fancy great axe. You see, it's got like magical pink runes engraved on it of some kind of bird with like wind, blowing out from its feathers, and it's like the sun hits it just as he raises it in the air. Hoorah!
You sure about this, Brenor?
We're not gonna fight him. There's just no way. There's no way we can beat them all.
I know.
We could beat them all.
Thorcus.
I know it. I know it in my
Hang
heart.
back and
I
watch everybody
don't
kill each
want to
other.
die today.
Yeah, let's let some of them kill each other first, obviously. But yes, I'll take scraps.
The intention is to save the Medusa.
But
Correct.
Lucille
But
is
we
so
have to get in.
hungry.
We have to get inside first. So let's do Divot's idea of us getting dressed up like we were captured and he's a mercenary, because Divot's like a really shiesty motherfucker.
Yeah.
Say
Let's
like
start getting into turns. Divot,
he
it's
was
your turn.
running away from them and like he's
Okay, gang,
helping him out.
y'all, act like you're tied up. You, act like you're tied up. Thorcus, jump on a horse with me, okay? We're gonna go through the gate, right? Most people aren't gonna notice us, and if they do, I got it. I'll talk to them.
We're going south.
Smooth as silk I will be with a tongue that is also smooth.
And if not, I'll kill him. Yeah.
Yes, that will be the plan.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And then you guys
Arr!
What are you doing?
secretly not be tied up and do cool stuff.
Divot, on your turn, what are you doing? What is your action?
Yeah, I hop up on the horse.
Okay. You can just reach the horse. All right, so you hop up on top of the horse. This token's going to be messed up because I moved it off the thing now, so bear with me on that. So you're on the horse there. Boom. Rial, what are you doing?
I'm tied up. Wink.
So there's
So you
that.
just want to like take out
And
the
now
rope
that
and tie
we've,
yourself up?
Absolutely, and I'd also like to cry out to these folks that have all run up and point at the silent image, like, "We saw it. He did it."
Give me a deception check,
Was
bro.
him.
Let's
Was
see
him.
how well you pull it off. Rial, you're not necessarily the most battle tested. A lot of this stuff is pretty new for you. You spent most of your life in a prison cell underneath the wizard's chambers. So like this moment is a pretty big one. So let's see if the intensity of the moment throws off your deception at all.
Get it.
Oh, please.
So
You threw it off a little low, huh?
So yeah, it's with a 3. So you reach out to call out to bring their attention to the illusion. It was him. We saw him do it. And the sound of your voice makes them turn and look at you. They hadn't really engaged with you yet. They've been dealing with this body in front of them. So the two that are on the ground there, that are near this corpse, are now faced at you guys. Tina, what do you do?
Oh, I don't know if he's mad. Oh. I don't want to do anything. I just want to be like tied up.
So you're tied up? Do you tie
Ready in
yourself
action.
up?
I want ready in action. I want to ready Sacred Flame if he gets all angry and decides to strike at me. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
Oh, but I don't want to fight now though.
Bruno,
What's happening?
what do you do?
I am pretending to be tied up.
All right. So the three of you are all tied up. Are you now? How are you presenting yourself? Are you just standing there with your wrists tied? Are you hog-tied? Or I don't mean to ask for these details, but Daddy needs to know how you're tied up.
Let me see. Okay, so I was close. It's like I was pushing. So okay, I was pushing the horses back. So I think I just kind of am like I tried to do like my arms. I'll be like, like my arms are tied up, so I can't like do anything.
My bracer's
so
got
that
the horse's mane. I can't.
no, I'm just like coming out from between the horses, like you guys are the worst. How dare you?
All right, let's get. They're probably not even in range. Are you trying to shout loud enough that they would hear you? Are you trying to like add to this deception?
Yeah, you know what?
Why not?
I'm trying to.
Why not?
All right, let's see it. So Brenor, you with you're well known for your high charisma. You see Rial trip over his own just deception, and you chime in behind him. Let's see how you do. Give me that deception check.
Holy sh! Here we go.
All right, 13, not bad, not great, but not bad. You see exactly as said. You guys are bad. You guys suck. And you see that the two guys that had looked at Rial are kind of like questioningly looking up over at you now, like kind of looking down at the dead body, looking up at you guys, looking back over to the other side. You see the one standing next to him looks back toward the forest path and seems to be making eye contact with something continuing up the road there. So,
I was gonna say, do they get any kind
up.
of bonus advantage or anything because of the pass without a trace thing on them, or
not because of unfortunately it gives you a bonus to stealth. So if you guys were trying to hide, it would and there would be no tracks from where you moved. So but the spell, unfortunately, it's not like it doesn't help with deception. It's just stealth thing.
I didn't know, so I wanted to find out.
Yeah. New spell.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, totally cool.
Alright,
so I guess I'm getting on the horse with Divot. Yeah, we're riding and hopefully not dying.
All right.
I guess you put both of us together, we might look like a normal-sized person.
I'm just gonna move you guys over
You
here.
guys could be mercenaries.
Yeah,
You'd be a
that's the pitch.
All right. So it's that next phase. You guys see a number of the. I'm sorry. This is Roll20's fighting me a little bit here. Boom. You see two mercenaries come out through the front gate of Buraka as the wooden gate gets pushed open, just wide enough for them to push through. Both of them have spears. They look out and they're scouting around in the area. You see a very intense look in their eye, and it almost seems like they're dancing a little bit to the drums that are going on.
Now, are these barbarians or warriors or whatever? Are they the same on both sides of us?
So yes, this is the first time that you've seen the actual mercenaries from the other side. They are the same group.
Okay, they're not like rival gangs. It's not the Jets and the Sharks.
And then it's this moment that you kind of figure that out, unless they all dress alike, you don't know. But yes, it would appear that this detachment coming from the north is also related to this one in the south. You're assuming, you could ask them, I guess. But you see the two run out on the front side, as two more make their way out of the path here. You see these two go over and they run up to this, this ninja suited archer that's holding this like dark shadowy bow, and they run up, and as they go to grab it, their hands just pass through the illusion. You see they're very confused and just kind of looking at it together. All right, so the moment kind of settles down for a moment, and then you see this large, tall, giant half-orc standing on the ridge on the other side. Uraka! You see, everybody kind of drops their weapons down to their sides. Hoorah! And beats their chest. Everybody stands silent. You see the 8 mercenaries standing in the various spots in the area around you, all with those little hooked pit and claw boots, are standing around kind of looking at each other. Everybody's looking at Malka, one hand over their chest. He looks down the path at you. What do you guys want to do? You want to like roll up, or you just stop? Are you like stopped there?
I think we have to commit.
Yeah.
We've already, guys. We have gone this far.
Okay, can anybody? I know you guys are tied up. Can anybody hide in the carriage? Do we get an advantage for that still?
So at this point, you're being seen.
Okay, so we're already
previously that could have been an option, but
all right,
like
We blew it.
no.
No, just created another opportunity.
All right, so they're looking right at us.
Yes.
I'm like, ooh ah!
Nice. Okay, I see where you're going with it.
You see this big, giant, tall, massive, hulking man puts his axe up in the air, and he points it at you. It moves with such speed that it's almost like a small, like breaking of the sound barrier.
Damn.
What brings you to Buraka?
Oh, guys, he speaks English.
I heard there was going to be a little bit of thing going on that we needed to come around for. I met this guy. He was really good with the killing and the doing of stuff like that. And I thought, maybe we could use him. And he already helped me catch a few people.
Sure did.
You see, it looks at you. He has this big, giant, hooked horn that just grows from the center of his head. He's got fiery, wild eyes. Make me a deception check, Gus, with advantage, because everybody in the team is playing along with their part right now. So you've presented a good enough deception that you have advantage in doing so. And, you're dressed the part. You certainly have the leather workings of a mercenary. But no real distinguishing marks on you or anything where they'd be like, hey, isn't that Larry's clothes? Remember, their friend is laying naked on the ground in front of them, though. That's
why I thought we should have burned his face so they couldn't recognize him. But that seems really violent now that I say it.
Whoa.
Oh, jeez,
Sorry.
Marcus.
Hey, Drew, that's don't be messing with Drew. Don't scare Drew.
Tell us what you really think.
And then we'll just eat his heart just because he's
Make sure we eat him, too, when he's done.
Yeah. Anything else you want to do? Any other
All right.
ideas?
So you see Malka gauging your response.
I didn't see it.
What land do you hail from? You there. Little one.
Oh, he's talking to you, Divot.
I couldn't tell you. The place I came from when I was so young, I killed everybody. And I don't remember because I was so young.
So you start sniffing the air. You smell the dankness of the murk wood coming, from just to your left side over the range. The little bit of moisture on your left. The air strangely arid and dry to your right, as if there's this like vacuum shift between, just like a polarity that cuts right down the middle of the party. You're sitting there, sniffs in the air. Ah, you smell of the Raka, boy. Come. You see he jumps, from this like 15-foot tall ledge. and just kind of
Terrible
marvel
phrase.
lands with one hand down, and the big swinging rune glyphed axe hanging up as this dust cloud blows up from underneath his feet. Have you come before? You look familiar. He starts walking toward this center area here in the middle. All the other mercenaries are still, a lot of them are breathing really hard from having just run super far one direction and then right back the other way. They're breathing, all of them with their weapons down at their side, as this man walks freely between them.
I'd like to use my inspiration point to impress this guy by I got to know something about, I've heard of him before, so
Maybe the tail of an axe or something.
Yes.
Because that's a sweet axe.
Finally put an axe to a face.
Diabetic.
All right, so what method are you using? Are you trying to intimidate him? Are you trying to persuade him? Are you trying to deceive him? Let's figure out the skill for it.
Charming? We'd be like, hey.
Yeah, is that an option?
I see we both shop at Hot Topic.
But yeah, I would personally say probably persuasion. If you're trying to persuade him that you are familiar with him and kind of play into his psyche a little bit, I would say that would probably. It could be argued deception just as easily. You are lying of this effect. So what I'll do with so we in WeeDnD, we like to play with inspiration points a little differently, rather than just granting advantage on a single roll. You can use an inspiration granted you to build a narrative moment. And so, Divot, you recall a great mercenary song that you've heard played at an inn long before you began, roaming the lands with Thoricus and Tina and the We Three. And you recall the great song of the Fury. It's this legendary mercenary's axe, said to behead many men on many a battlefield, and that the gold, earned by this axe in its legacy could build a mountain to live upon. And you start thinking about it, and you remember a catch, a tune pops into your mind, and you remember the song of the Fury.
The Fury on the ride. The Fury on the ride. Yes, I knew yes.
You feel the breeze start flowing from the trees as you stand up, in your pretty well suited mercenary armor, and you kind of start humming the catch of the Fury. You see Malka.
Oh, good.
And he pulls the blade down. I always liked that song. Malka the Fury! And you see all the mercenaries and everything. Hoorah! Coo! Hoorah! Coo! And then stand transfixed again. I see my legacy reaches out before me into the world. Tell me, mercenary, what have you brought to feed the Raka? She is angry. You see the axe points into the sky at the sun still frozen in place, having not moved for over a week now. The sun is frozen. The Raka is mad. What have you brought as a gift for the Raka? And you see everybody, yeah! And the shaman astas start popping out that sweet drum jam again.
Ooh.
And you see, instead of standing in solemn, frozen positions, all of the mercenaries and every person that you see starts going into almost this trance-like dance. You see their eyes roll into the back of their various bandana faces, and they start just kind of shoulders sagging, and their bodies begin bouncing to this melody. Divot, again, you're training as a bard. Your understanding of magical energies. You feel something in this breeze that's blowing through, and you see it as the breeze washes over the face of each of these people, that they're caught up in this blissful moment at the presence of the strange and magical wind that seems to be swooping in as the drums play and the moment builds. It blows past you. So you see he he stands arms wide, the fury, the legendary battle axe floating in front of him, his massive arms swelling out. It's seeking a response. What have you brought him?
A mighty new warrior to join our ranks.
See, he kind of cracks his neck. A new warrior, you say? Let me see him. You see, he walks up a little closer. Standing right next to that dead body, the stripped naked dead man that's laying there on the ground. So he kind of looks down, his wild eyes scanning all the surroundings and everything. You can tell he's kind of sizing you guys up a little bit. Let me see the fighter, the warrior. We believe in strength. We believe in the Raka. You see all the guys as they dance. And they start kind of letting themselves go a little bit. It's like EDC. All these crazy kids are just having a good time. Eyes are rolling in the back of their heads. Ooh, as they dance.
Okay. The mighty warrior is in the carriage.
Really?
What did you? But good.
He continues walking forward. He moves forward about 10 feet. You see he's kind of down at the last of the bedrolls now. And you see he's walking, kind of looks over at the carriage that you have behind you. Suddenly you hear a voice coming from this gateway down at the south. They said they was with Malka! Sorry, with Brachus! With Brachus the Mayan!
No, we killed him. No.
I didn't say that.
Said I knew Brachus, but who doesn't?
That old drunk.
See, you can see his hands visibly clench on the massive mast of this huge great axe, and he, Brachus the Mayan. Oh, why didn't you bring him with you? I'd have loved to get my hands on that traitor. And you see he starts kind of swelling and getting mad. This rageful energy starts building through the veins that, his vascular face starts kind of highlighting itself. You see he's working himself up into a bit of a fury.
Oh, what?
And continues moving forward.
Brachus is a broken man anyway, so whatever.
We couldn't get him here because we couldn't.
Yeah.
Alone the alcoholic.
He's a piece of work. He is. I don't like him either.
He stops. Looks around at the other ones. And what else you got? Looks like quite a haul. Ooh. We're awfully hungry these days. You see he's kind of looking at the horses.
Those are rented. We didn't get the insurance. So, I'm so sorry. Those are off limits.
Boom, you see the mercenaries continue dancing in the back, getting fully into their frenzy. It's starting to build up intensity. The wind that's blowing starts building. You can almost feel all, like your capes and your various hanging garments are now kind of blowing in the direction of Malka. And he stands at the base. You see the little leather half vest that he wears blowing back behind him as he builds with this energy that seems to be filling all of you and all these mercenaries in the moment.
Are we getting any of that?
Yeah, you're getting a little tickle for sure.
Okay.
Like there's like a frenetic.
I was feeling it earlier.
Yeah, it's like.
It got me pumped. I want to fight.
Thorpe honestly in the back of your mind. You start kind of remembering that fury of the battlefield. You remember being a stone reaver back in Kumara, and the fury of the battle with you and your allies, linking arms and doing these giant spirals of axe doom, trading with each other over the years, and this drum, this pulsing sensation, and this energy that's starting to feel you. You see staring at this glorious axe and this big, strong dude that holds it. Your own warrior's pride starts swelling in your chest, and you feel your hand, is already on Lucille. You look down, it's already ready to go without really you telling it to do so. But yeah, you definitely, you're feeling the juice a little bit here. Malka stops. Well, bring me my gifts!
We're gonna start walking. Let's start walking.
Please! Come on!
Alright,
Okay.
so,
He asked nicely. Kind of.
Rial, Bruno, or Tina, you're standing there, before you, about 15 feet in front of you, is this big, giant, massive, shadow of a man, gripping this big, massive creature, breathing heavily, feeling that breeze coming through. You can feel like stepping close to this dude that he has such a swelling presence about him. You can see that just his presence alone is affecting the minds and bodies of each of these mercenaries that sits around him. And he sits, almost like DB a little bit, just kind of like sat on his knees, bent, his arms and shoulders back, and he just seems to be like breathing in this breeze that washes over him as his wild eyes get crazier and his smile widens.
Cool.
He's got the bug. He wants to fight.
Let's try to go inside then.
All right, so you start walking your way. I'm just going to kind of move this map. I don't know what this is going to do in Roll20, but we'll see. So you start moving forward.
Woo! Here it goes.
And you finally get, and you see you're going to try to kind of guide the horses down this little ledgeway here to your south and kind of bypass the mighty presence of Malka. And you see that he steps right in front of you. He starts getting close to you, Rial. You can tell his skin is like green, like a pale green-white skin is glistening, like it's coated in oils. And as he gets close to you, you can smell it's like this really potent, like patchouli oil. And it's just like, there's like a cloud of just various odors coming off of this guy, and including some pretty ripe BO. Dude hasn't showered in a while. And you see he kind of gets up close to you, and his jaw's hanging down, and he looks, gets his face right next to yours. An elf. An elf. We could use you! And he grabs you by the ruffle of your chest and pulls you in close to him. You feel the strength of his massive arm draw you in. To the pit! And he throws you into the dirt, onto the ground in front of him. And then, Rial, you're kind of like land on your knees. Your hands are tied, so you kind of hold your body weight up and, look up at him as he proceeds to move forward.
I say, much respect to you, but his bounty belongs to me. If I had known you was gonna be here, I might have brought you a treat. But unfortunately, I didn't know that.
You see, his crazy eyes, looking down at Rial. Slowly he turns his head to look at you. And you see all the other mercenaries stop. They're all suddenly matching his gaze. You see all 8 of them, including the shamanasses up on the hills who are drumming. Everybody seems to be staring bullets at you right now, David. No gift. No gift for the Grand Goro. No gift for Malka the Fiore.
I thought we brought a gift.
Oh!
Isn't it in the carriage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, you.
Malka should probably go and check it out himself.
No.
Just stick his head right in that carriage. Check out his gift.
Not a good idea. No.
Malka raises his hand, gestures over to one of the mercenaries. He waves his hand over, and the mercenary begins walking by.
Oh.
Rial, you're sitting there on the ground, that red and brown mud kind of caked on your knees, and your hands are, tied, but they're not like tied. You see him, as he kind of just, you see the little hooks of pittons on his little cleat shoes stepping into the earth, and he kicks up a little dust in front of you as he looks down at you. Keeps walking past. Tina, he walks up and approaches you. You and Brenner kind of stand in the way of seeing around to what's sticking out of the other side. You see he's kind of trying to look around. What do you guys do?
Hey, check me out.
Look at us. Don't you want us? Oh.
My skin's blue. What's that about? I don't know.
Oh, I'm so short. Oh,
Look what happens.
my armor is so valuable. Oh, don't you want that?
Just listen to your heart when we tell you goodbye.
So, what do I get if they go to the pit?
What?
Because if it's worth more than what I get for the bounty, I'll think about it.
Oh, there's money in the pit. It's the money pit.
You see,
Which
Malka looks. Those who pay the Raka feel the Raka. You must prove your strength. Could you stand up to the challenge, dwarf?
Absolutely.
You reek of the Raka. I can smell it on you.
Can you smell what the rock is cooking?
I give Thoricus the look.
Yeah. Oh,
You
buddy.
see all the mercenaries kind of all look at each other and they're like, the pit.
Let's
The
do it.
pit. The pit. You see each one of them start singing it. The pit. The pit. The pit. And it starts building up and swelling
Yeah.
up.
The pit. The pit.
It is
The
on
pit.
fire.
The pit. The pit.
Yes.
The pit. The pit.
Whoosh,
The
you
pit.
swing
The pit.
out of great axe and turns around as Malka begins to lead the way. You see these mercenaries by the gates clear, like split like butt cheeks and let them walk through. As Malka walks into Raka.
I use my thaumaturgy to boom my voice really loud. The pit! The pit!
See, like, the mercenaries are like getting into it. Like they're like hyped on how hyped you are about this.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I'm like,
like screamo, like metal. The pit!
See the one, the mercenary right in front of you, like, oh, and he's kind of like blown back by the mighty magical boom of your voice.
Like,
Yeah, the pit. Come on! And you see he starts guiding you
Yeah.
through the main gates here of Raka. Let me switch us over.
Well. Ooh. Oh, me oh my.
Alright, so you guys are, coming in through the north side here, and this is what you see. And now that the doors, the wooden spike doors open up, and you look around, much bigger on the inside than you would have assumed at first by being tightly packed. Many types of huts set up with stretched animal skins for roofs. The horns and antlers and claws of various animals all strung up around. You see various like red totem war flags that have the gold symbol of the Fury, the axe that you've seen Malka hold, emblazoned on the front. As you start walking in past these first two guard towers and then past a third that sits before you, you see kind of like one that would sticks out a little bit as a little bit more advanced in its design. A big, large, round, almost like altar-looking building. With a very ceremonial, multi-layered roof that kind of builds up in several tiers. And you see peppered around, again, probably at least, you see in front of you probably 25 more mercenaries, not counting the ones that are coming from behind you guys. You see them all, a good portion of them are all lined around this great brick pit that has these big, giant, they look like 3 and 4 foot tall teeth that sit up, and it's like this big, toothy, gaping hole in the ground that has a bridge, like a hanging wooden bridge that crosses the distance of it.
Ooh, I love a toothy hole.
Many of them gathered around. To your right, there's this big chieftain hut style with many smaller huts surrounding it and a big giant campfire. Across the way, another like a 2-tiered tent. Like I said, it's a lot bigger than you would have guessed from the outside. All the mercenaries at this point have turned as they watch Malka walk in. Ooh, and you see, Malka continues on to the walking directly toward this big stone, 50-foot round, in diameter, stone circle in the ground that has this 5-foot bridge hanging across it. You see, that breeze still blowing in from behind the gates. Ooh, You see the drums stop. You seek the test. You seek to prove your strength. Raises his hand, puts it up behind him.
I don't like that.
You see this fog of white smoke.
Why is it always snakes?
Starts spilling up. And snake sounds grow and grow. The test, the Rakanasta, shall begin with you. He points the axe at you, Thoricus. And that's where we're going to take our break, guys.
Oh my God.
All right. Oh, snakes.
Thoricus.
And
All right, dudes, we're going to take us a quick break. Stick around, man. The music is incredible. The fan art, all the stuff is on there, where you can catch us on social. It's all in there. You know, definitely take a bathroom break. That's what we're doing. I've got to pet Isaac, or he gets a little unruly around this time. So I'm going to get on that. It's okay, Isaac. I'll pet you. So thanks for staying in, guys. We will see you after this. Things are getting scandalous.
Ooh.
Ooh. back, buds. That was a perfect intermission. Got our short rest in, feeling recharged and ready to jump back into it. If you remember, when we left, the five were carriaged up inside the town of Buraka, standing before a great stone pit. Before them stands the great body of Malka the Fury. You see he turns, that breeze that blows in from the trees behind you kind of blows in through the wooden doors as well. You feel it blowing over your shoulders. Thoricus, that twitch of the battlefield starts building up inside of you. You feel that intensity that everybody around you seems to be feeding on, building into your own being. This place feels like somewhere you've gone in a dream of your own, and you almost feel like you've been here before, even though you haven't. And you guys are standing there, Thoricus and Divot are still riding the horses, and the three masquerading as slaves stand in front of them. Malka, standing there just on the other side of the pit, turns around. The Rockanasta! And you see the mercenaries all around him, the ones by the pit, the ones over in near the tan-colored roof tents with the red flags. They all start, yeah, yeah, yeah! And then you see that bouncing begins again. And as the breeze blows through the town, you see the various loose pieces of clothing kind of picking up in this almost magical wind. Malka repeats, Deraka! And everybody, yeah! Shouts in agreement. Points the Fury at you, Thoricus. Dwarf! Are you ready to test your strength?
I am absolutely ready to test my strength.
Nice.
What you got?
I can smell the Raka on you, dwarf. The Raka. It is a way of life. It is the hot breath in your lungs in the heat of battle. It is the cool breeze within your spirit. It connects each of us. And he begins pointing at all the mercenaries. And with the point of the Fury at each one of them, you see them all react as if this beam of energy fills them. It connects each of us who give ourselves to the Raka and make us strong and better to hold its glory. The wind keeps building and picking up. It's like a palpable breeze now, 20 miles an hour, blowing around. You feel all your hair is kind of being blown around in this twister of wind that kind of circles the camp, seemingly focused on Malka as like the center of the storm. I respect strength above all, for in the hearts of the battle-tested, the Raka sings loudly. Do you feel its sweet embrace?
Oh, I can feel it.
So you're standing now. You were riding the horse. You found as this wind kind of picks you up, you're standing up in the stirrups. Your little dwarf legs aren't very tall, so you're still just kind of like at the same height. But you're standing on the stirrups, and you see the mercenaries around you start rock nasta, and they all start chanting. You see the shamanastas on their drums. And everybody seems to start pulling in. The crowd is kind of gathering around this big, giant, open stone pit. He points at you, Malka points at you with the Fury. You stand on that side of the bridge. I stand on that side of the bridge. Only one of us makes it across the bridge. The loser meets my pet. And he gestures back once more, and you hear the snake sounds emanating from this dark pit that's driven down. You can't see the bottom from where you're at, but it drops at least 10 feet into this foggy darkness. So you see Malka begins walking around here to the west side of the bridge. You see a lot of the mercenaries that are kind of like around these buildings here seem to, now that Malka's walking away, are kind of like gauging like what to do with the slaves. So Bruno or Rial, Tina, what are you doing in this moment?
I'm kind of hanging back by the carriage because I want to be ready in case anything goes for Brian.
Okay, yeah, still kind of blocking the view. You know, really at this point, nobody's gotten a good eye on Brian.
Right.
You haven't heard, strangely, you haven't heard much commotion coming from you behind where you came in. You know, you remember there's probably 16 more mercenaries outside the gates, but they're not coming in for whatever reason. And so it's just, what the kind of the numbers that you see in front of you. Like I said, roughly, 40, sitting around. You see some of the mercenaries in some of the farther camps, are just getting done by practicing battle maneuvers and stuff. Everybody seems to be in pretty high spirits right now as this chant, Rock, Nasta, Rock, Nasta, starts spreading, through the ranks as it starts to call on people from all sides of Buraka, and they start to convene around this circle. So Rial, what about you? You're kind of like in the front right now. You see two of the mercenaries that are standing over, like right here by this little hut. They're kind of looking over at you and just kind of, no stop, and they're kind of shaking and kind of giving you a menacing look.
I'm doing the same as Brenner and perhaps Tina. I'm just completely playing into the slave charade, but I'm not meeting the gaze of anybody. Staring straight, not making eye contact with anybody.
Perfect, nice. And what about you, Tina?
I want to keep playing into the charade, remaining bound, but I want to also keep using my thaumaturgy to play into the spirit of the moment and keeping everybody into the mood and supporting Thoricus as well.
Nice. All right. So you see, is this, this magical energy, as you call upon your thaumaturgy, you get that surge of energy from Thera's Dune, your deity, and you feel that energy kind of crackling in your eyes a little bit, and Rial, as you look, over to your left, you kind of see her eyes crackle with the yellow energy. Rock, Nasta, Rock, Nasta. The energy starts sending little sound waves out, blowing up little plumes of dust. Each pulse of the words, and you see this extra energy has gotten the two mercenaries that were kind of mean mugging you guys totally carried away, and they too start wandering over toward this pit. You see these, you can only guess that they must be dragon teeth, these large, thick, polished ivory spikes that jet up all around the opening. You see some idols of skeletons that are frozen in stone, and as you kind of, take your bearings around, you see that each of these tents has a small statue in front of it of people in various states of just like some have their arms up like this. You see a big fat, clearly merchant with big flowing robes, holding out his hands in front of his face in fear, frozen statue. So you start kind of looking around, and Brenor, your mind starts to recall that story of the sailor, in that bar at the dock, and his brother and the stone people. Beware the stone people. Don't look at her, he said. Don't look at her. Do you, Thoricus and Divot, do you guys, at this point, what are you doing? Are you staying on the horse? Are you getting off? Are you stepping
Thoricus! I lean over to him. I reach out. I go for like a manly handshake.
Like
and I'm like...
One of those?
Yeah. But then I tickle him a little bit, and I'm like, you're quite an inspiration.
Ooh.
And I give him a bardic inspiration.
So, Thoricus, in this moment, Divot leans over to you, and you're familiar with his magical whispers. He's done some healing words. But as he speaks, you feel that swirling gust of that energy wave that's circling around the camp, and you feel it, almost as if it was centered on, Malka originally. You feel its energy start pulling over toward you. As if you are now the eye of the storm. And as Divot's words of inspiration reach, they get caught and carried in this booming magical energy that surges through your head, and suddenly you feel swelled with inspiration. What do you do?
Oh, I'm gonna get off the horse.
If I can grab you and not the horse. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so he's pointed, basically, he said that the rules are, there ain't no rules. No, the rules are each of you will cross this bridge, but only one of you will cross this bridge.
So have fun and be yourself.
Oh, have fun and be myself?
Yeah.
Boy, probably should have told me that.
All right, so let me, so you see a lot of the mercenaries and everything, they're still all rock, Nasta, and you see Malka just swelling in this this energy, literally like tipping back, and his fingertips just loosely like waving in the wind as the swelling energy now washes over him instead of around him like it was when he was the focus. Now he's feeling the flow of this blissful, wind energy that flows through him. You hear him call out, "The Raka! Do you feel her? She is here with us now! The sun shall move. The Goro shall win again!" And the mercenaries, "Yeah! Rocky Nasta! Rocky Nasta! Rocky Nasta!" You start moving yourself over into position. Let me just kind of move you over here real quick. And now's the part of the game where I sing, 'cause I gotta do something. This is the song about it. Boom. All right, so through the magic of D&D, so you stand before this giant pit. You're still probably about 10 feet away from the edge. You see a number of mercenaries and a few shamanastas standing right around the edge of these stone piles of skeleton bones that seem to litter all around it. The big jetting dragon, resembling dragon teeth jetting up from the stone edifice on the floor, and you see that that rolling smoke spilling up over the edge of the shadow. Let me bring you over here. So you see, as you approach, this 5 foot wide bridge that spans the distance of about 50 feet. And it kind of sags in the middle and it swings back and forth. It's not like a sturdy, solid bridge. It's kind of blowing, and as this breeze of the Raka blows through, you see even the bridge itself starts kind of swirling back and forth. As you approach the entrance, you hear the echoing of the snakes from within. The fog that rolls up kind of blocks your view as you kind of get closer and closer to your side of the bridge. You kind of look back and you see snakes. The whole crew kind of back a pretty good distance away from you. You're all on the map right now, so I didn't want to split you differently. But you guys are pretty far off here. And so, you look back and you see, your friends standing there, their wrists tied, mostly hanging back near the back end of the carriage, trying to hide the body of Brian the crocodile for as long as they can. Probably, if they were looking at those horses like a tasty snack, you can only imagine what they might consider doing with Brian.
A freshly salted and oiled crocodile?
Freshly salted, too, yes.
And oiled.
And oiled, yes. Oh man, he's ready to go. Just throw some garlic on.
Seriously. Needs more garlic.
All right, so rock Nasta. As you start walking to your edge of the rim, you kind of peer down and see if you can look down. You kind of remember the warnings of Brennor about not looking at this beast, and so you just kind of peek down and turn your eyes away. But all you can see is this kind of almost blue silver fog that seems to just linger inside of this, almost like the dust of a broken statue that's perpetually floating. You can see it wisping as the breeze of the Raka spins around, and as you finally stand and engage, you on one side of the bridge, Malka the Fury on the other side of the bridge, the Fury, the battle axe, the mercenary legend in his hand, Lucille firmly gripped in yours. You feel that energy of the Raka circling exclusively the pit. You guys standing back by the carriage, you notice that the wind that you felt blowing all around you starts dissipating, and you can see like an almost visual circle of wind blowing around. Malka's eyes wide, smile agape, his underbite sticking out. He looks just like in total bliss. He points the Fury in front. Dwarf man, what is your name?
My name is Thoricus Onyxheart of the Stone Reavers.
A strong name. Malka the Fury is pleased to meet you in battle. Shall we? With weapons or without?
Oh.
He holds his axe out, tilts it down so the flat of the blade is facing the ground, as if he's prepared to drop it.
Oh, shit.
Can I phone a friend?
With your Rocky Talkie, you can.
I
Yeah,
was.
you're-
Come in, best friend.
What's going on there, best friend?
So through your magical sending stones that you acquired from Ubaru, you guys are able to telepathically communicate. Right?
All right, I'm not sure what to do. Lucille's kind of all I know. I mean, I can fight. You want to catch these hands, you can catch these hands. But what do you think I should do? I'm phoning a friend. Clock's ticking. Curse, battle. Let's do this. What do you think?
What say you, dwarf?
I have faith in you, friend. I have faith in you.
So fight with hands or with axes?
Give me hands.
Give me hands. Okay.
Give those hands.
You feel the wind blowing around you as you
I got
pull
you on the
your
back
shield to
end.
your side.
Good. Yes. Anything starts going south, you get the other team to quit the illusion and just go to Fucktown.
That's what we're here for.
Oh, his hands
We're
start
getting
shaking. What do you do?
All right. Non-lethal. I've got some words I need to have with you.
You see, in a moment, he drops, and as you see the great heavy axe start falling from his hand, in an instant, the mass of his body, is full 7'5", almost nearly, not double your height, but getting in that range, mass of muscle just starts running at you. You see the wind behind him, pushing him toward you. You feel the same wind pushing at your back. He starts running toward you. I know he has an axe in his hand in this picture, but he's not using it, I promise.
Well, technically I have an axe in my picture too, so
It's true. It's true. It's only fair. If he can have an axe in his picture, you can have an axe in your picture.
Theater of
For
the mind.
pretensies.
The
Pretensies.
theater of the back of your mind.
Right. The entrance is in the back.
All right, so what do you do, Thoricus? You see him
Right, so
running toward you. You see his feet, he's running with such energy that as his feet hit the swinging bridge, you see it kind of buckle at his strength and pull at the ropes, which luckily hold their strength. He's running at you.
oh, let's get it. I'm going right at him.
All right, so are you...
Can I throw a cantrip in there while he goes?
All right, so this is kind of where you guys are at. So nobody's paying attention to you right now.
Cool.
Nice job, slaves.
Because they're all really, this spectacle they're seeing right now is, something they'll tell their little mercenary sons and daughters about down the line. So, this is a big epic moment. At this moment, you do have a bit of the element of surprise. Now, cantrips, even certain ones, have
plus
somatic
pass without a trace, right?
vocal components. And so, yes, you have, if you want to hide and cast something, you can, with pass without trace, you're getting an additional +10. But right now, you can do stuff, but just know that there's a chance, and there's always that chance.
Always
I
a
will
chance.
roll that they notice, and then at that point, your ruse is a bit blown.
I would like
They
to
have to
casually be making my way towards that axe while this is happening.
My dude.
All right, so you're still. Did you get off the horse? I'm sorry, I know the horses aren't there. I just want to kind of picture where you're at in my mind.
Yeah, when I was talking to Thoricus, I hopped off.
Okay, so how far do you want to move? And I only gave each of them 15 feet, so you're limited by that same limitation. So if you move 15, you'd be standing behind this mercenary right there. Again,
really-
any of these actions may draw attention. It's just a matter of if their perception.
Okay.
Ah.
Well, Divott's not one of the
I'm
slaves.
acting like I'm watching the fight, but I'm getting I want to get as close to the axe as possible.
Okay. All right, so let's get you the. So you want to land about there, right next to that mercenary?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you guys, the carriage folk, as Rial, as you start contemplating your move, you see Divot, in the
And
mercenary
I'm like, hey, 3 gold on Thoricus.
Yeah, you see the mercenary that you're standing next will take that bet. So do you want to do a 3 gold side bet on Thoricus right now?
It's a good bet.
So you see rock, Nasta, yeah, and he reaches into a little pouch of coin that he has at his side and holds it out in front of you. 3 gold. He wants to match your bet.
Ooh.
All right.
All right, so you have a side bet with this dude. Your money's on Thoricus. You see, he's like, Malka can't be beat. You can't beat Malka. And he's just like totally jammed up, feeling the breeze blowing through him. You know, you as you approach are starting to feel this surging energy as well. It's this big, just epic moment, just blooming in front of you as you see the bridge, you know, bending at the strength of these two massive, strong forces. You know, the small and sturdy, stout Thoricus kind of bull rushing, you know, with his little mohawk kind of blowing in the wind, and Malka the Fury, you know, running with the full force of his giant frame directly at him. Tina, what do you want to do right now? I'm sorry, Rial, you can cast your spell too. Like I said, just be aware. I'm sorry, yeah, Rial, if you wanted to do that, what do you wanted to do?
So I'm still on the Rocky Talkie call with Thoricus right now.
That's a big tempo.
I'm just gonna. Oh, excellent. Thanks, there, Chin Fork.
So this is, in this moment, this is 6 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to actually count this out for you. So that's how long of a message you can transpire. Ready? Go.
I have some excellent effects for you, but I don't know if you need them. Do you want them? It could bring us out of this illusion here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got it.
All right. So that's your communique. And then yeah, you still have your actions. So like, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go ahead and cast it. He's new to this. Like, everyone's looking at this guy with all eyes are on Thoricus right now. So I want all of his movements, especially if he's coming in with like strike or anything he does gets that dope like Zack Snyder slow motion, and also his eyes are just blazing this whole time.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yes.
I am super high,
you
y'all.
see this, that wind that flows around you actually gains like an electric cloud of energy. You are like the surging storm. You see the bridge, kind of shakes at your fury as you move forward, and bolts of energy start shooting off you, almost like you're like Super Saiyaning on your way across this bridge. Harmless magical effects, but they certainly do the trick. Building this like this wave of energy as the two of your massive forms come toward a point. Tina, did you have anything?
Yeah, I wanna just.
Do you have anything you want to add?
I just want to undo my knots so that they look like they're tied, but they aren't. So that when I'm ready to get going, I can just drop.
So now, instead of it being an action to get untied, it'll just be a free action, and you can do that on your turn, and you'll still get the full benefit of a round. Okay.
Perfect.
So
And
that's
that's
the
what I
benefit
do.
of that. So yeah, you see, the knots that you tied yourself. You're just kind of like quickly, you've gotten out of a few knots in your day, and so you quick throw a little thing, and it drops loose, but it's still, you can see the rope wrapped around either hand, so it still appears that you're captive. Again, because of your pass without a trace spell, you seem to be like there's almost like a small cloud in between you and them, and they're all so hyped in this moment that so far none of your guys' actions have been detected.
Perfect. And that's all I want to do because I don't want to draw any attention.
Brunor, what about you?
I look over at Tina and I go, "You have rope? I've just been holding my arms together this whole time." No one has said anything.
You're like,
Yeah, I have rope.
I totally heard that through the Rocky Talkie. It was great.
That's not real.
So I have a question. If Brian hasn't moved or done anything or said anything, he also has this spell, right? So he's pretty hidden from sight, just in the carriage.
Yeah, you would assume that unless somebody was active, again, you're not super familiar with this spell, but just like this,
Right.
You have this strange feeling. You're normally people probably would have noticed the moving of hands and the casting of spells and the shifting around. You see Divot just kind of walking over to the edge of this pit and nobody's paying attention. It's like this swelling moment has almost a magical grip on everybody around it. And
Right, but
that is
also no one behind us has said anything because we went people were coming up behind us. No one behind us said anything about a crocodile in a carriage.
Sure.
So that leads me to believe that no one's seen him yet.
That is true.
So
And nobody has yet been a crocodile.
Yeah, that's what I'm. So I just want to make sure that he's safe. Is there any way that I can look around and check to make sure that he's safe, or that I can kind of put this carriage try to get these horses out of the way and kind of
I also cast Pass Without Trace on him as
Right.
well.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, the carriage is not something that can be passed without traced. It's a person thing, but the cart itself and he being in it is kind of
sorry.
a
I gotcha.
sucker to what's happening in it.
Yeah.
But where you are with where I had you on the last map, there's kind of that guard tower that sits right in the middle of the road. Now currently you're sitting next to it. You think if you would back, again, nobody's coming from the north, again, kind of strangely with all those people there that they're not wanting to get in on this. You could back the cart back around the back end of the guard tower, and that would block the view of anybody in front of it. So that's all the camp, the circle, the pit, everything. That would put Brian in a safe place.
Okay, I want to kind of do that, like just with the horses, like keep it real cool and be like, and like kind of get them to like do like get back while all this
moving it very close. It's a matter of 5 to 10 feet.
Yeah.
With your whole turn. Doing it slowly. None of their passive perceptions picked it up. If you try to do something a little bigger, or if there was more, if you're trying to run them away or anything, then they would get a roll on you. But right now, it's all just their passive perception. They are engaged on this event occurring in front of them. So you kind of look around and just you push on the horse board and back them up. You kind of direct them a little bit so that they back up. Like crazy taxi right around the corner, and then you park. You see Brian's tail is sticking out the backside, where toward the gate to Buraka, and his head is kind of like nestled in where the cross wood beams of the guard tower stick up. So he seems pretty well covered, as far as being in the middle of a mercenary camp.
Right. Cool. I wanted to do that because my good boy Brian.
BB.
Good boy.
All right, so that gets us back to. All right, so I didn't need to move that. You're not on that map. Okay, cool. So did I get everybody? I'm sorry. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Okay, cool. So we are This is the moment. Thoricus, you both stand 30 feet away from each other, running at full speed. You, the swelling fury of a storm, as an illusion swelling around you as you push through. You can feel that wave of energy, the Raka, as Malka calls it, pushing you forward. Your fists clenched with a strength. You're calling upon this new strength that you have. You got it level up. This reserve strength that you haven't yet tapped into, and you rush through. So, Malka, running forward, looking like a big giant linebacker in the NFL, just pure force and energy, the same wind, the same, I feel fury in his eyes, the smile wide, his underbite jaw sticking out. He can't wait to collide with you. And so the way this is going to work is we're going to do some strength checks. Now, you have a bardic inspiration, which you could use on this. I'm just reminding you of. So that would be an additional d6 to your thing. You can wait until the roll to declare if you want to use it or not. So just so you know, we are going to be doing competing strength checks. So this is the first moment. The two forces finally meet. The immovable object and the unstoppable force collide in the middle. And Drew, go ahead and give me a strength check. All right, so 13. Do you want to use your bardic inspiration or not?
That goes to the roll?
Yes, you would add 1d6 to that roll if you want to use it now.
Of course I do. That was not the best roll. Wait, did I have advantage of any kind to get the 20?
No, you didn't get the 20. You got the 13. So you're both kind of in a big epic moment right here. But the sight of you going across this bridge seems to have backed a couple of the mercenaries off. Like if they had any kind of ideas about maybe getting involved, they seem to not be wanting to mess with you right now. No. So it did have an effect. But however, Malka, unfazed. He if anything, sees even greater glory before him across this bridge.
Has he seen this though?
Go ahead and hit me with 1d6.
Sorry.
Do your best.
You remember the magical breeze, that moment where you felt the Raka course through you. And with a 2, you get a 15, which beats his 14. And so you feel that, you envision that moment of Divot being like, have some inspiration. You feel that little touch in your mind, and suddenly you're surged with purpose. Oh, you're little and small, so you're able to kind of plant yourself up.
I'm a solid 4 or 5.
Yeah, dude. So you bring up your forearms right into his solar plex and lift him up, 2 feet. As the energy, the bridge shakes and swings at this massive burst of energy. The winds of the Raka burst off of you in either direction, blowing people a little bit back that stand near the pit. You've got him. You've got him in a grapple right now. So you get your arms and you slide him and you lock his shoulders into place. And with your strength, even though he's this massive guy, you're actually stronger than him. And so you begin bending his arms as he tries to push down on you, and you start getting control of his upper body. That's their turn. What about my people around the pit? What do we want to do?
All right. I would like the sleight of hand. I reach down while everybody's watching this fight, and I grab the axe, right?
All right.
And as I see that my man is fucking that dude up, I take the axe, and I look Thoricus dead in the eyes, and I throw it as hard as I can right at them.
Right. All right. So this is a very big axe. So I'm gonna need a strength check from you to see how far you can throw this axe. Like you start, you're like, I'll get it to him.
You know that,
go to
right?
grab it, kind of, your arm like pulls back a little bit. You're like, oh, then you kind of grab it with your other hand and throw it. Not strength. Oh yeah, no, that's. So yes, unfortunately, Divot, you go to throw it, and you feel just the heft. How Malka was able to move it with such alacrity is beyond you. You hoist and you feel your shoulders, the muscles in your shoulder kind of pull as you pull back and are barely able to just drag it across the ground for like a foot. And it slips out of your hand, pink, and just the handle hits the ground. Tina, what do you do?
Oh. I want to make my way to the axe. Can I make my way to the axe unseen?
I mean, you can certainly try.
I would love to
Make
try.
a copy of yourself or something like that?
What was that?
Can you make a copy of yourself or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that?
Oh my God, Thoricus. Thank you for reminding me of what I can do. Thank you.
Ferocious or whatever spell that is.
Yeah, I'm going to create an illusion of myself and have that illusion pick. Yeah.
You're gonna
channel my divinity illusion.
give me that one more time. What are you gonna have it do? I'm sorry, you dropped out there a little.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna have my divinity illusion pick up the axe and attempt to throw it to Thoricus.
Okay, can you? I apologize. I should know this. Let me just double check. I'm not sure if it actually can pick up a physical thing. I just have to double check. I know you can cast spells through it. But I'm not positive that it would be able to pick up the axe. Now you could leave it where you are, and you could try. I'm sorry, I'm just checking real quick. Not a problem. Got trickery. Here we go.
120 feet. Lasts for a minute.
It is an
Advantage
illusion.
combat.
Yeah, so it can give you advantage, but it isn't an actual physical copy of you. It is an illusional copy. So it can. You could have it. I don't want to tell you what to do with it. I'm just saying it doesn't operate as a physical manipulation. You could use it for distraction or to help you in battle or to cast spells through. As long as you can see her, you can cast spells from where your illusion is. It's really cool. So yes, if because of that you don't want to use that, I'm okay with you backstepping that real quick.
Yeah. I don't want to use it then.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for suggesting it.
No. It's a good suggestion.
It's a cool ability. I love it.
I'm really eager to use it too.
I was hoping this would be a good time, but I'm like, maybe.
Please, I want to use it.
And we learned.
Learning.
Well, I think since I'm easier to slide out of the rope now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stealth. I'm gonna try to stealth over to the axe.
Okay, give me a stealth. You do have +10 to this because your Pass Without Trace is still active. Remember, it is a concentration spell, so if you take damage, you'll have to make a concentration check. Or if you cast another spell that has concentration, that effect will no longer last. With your natural 1.
Oh God!
I have
Natural
lucky,
1,
so I can roll
which
again.
gives you 3. Ooh, do you have lucky?
Yeah, I'm.
Oh,
yeah,
halfling.
halflings have natural luck, so I can roll again.
That little
Let's try
halfling,
again.
lucky little. Yeah,
Try
demons love
again.
that ability.
God,
We love
I
it.
wish I was a halfling
It's
and had lucky.
All
So
right,
much
so
better.
instead of a 13, you get a 22 with your stealth.
All right.
Which again, now the surge of energy, the focus, that big wind that was distracting everybody, now is centered in the middle of this bridge. So you're not sure that you have the same, level of concealment that you previously had when everybody was all caught up in the good stuff. But you taking advantage of your small stature and the fact that everybody is still focused very intently on watching as Malka, their strongest warrior, their chief Goro, is having his arms bent down by a 4 or 5 mountain dwarf, gritting through his teeth. So yes, you.
I'm
and where do you
pretending
wanna
that
move
I'm
down?
watching the goings on. I'm not really focused on the axe as much.
Okay, so you can the same kind of thing. You can get like right here behind this mercenary if you want to go that far.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point, being that close to him, he'll probably get a perception check on you for whatever you may do from there. Rial, what about you, buddy?
I just want to use my mage hand to pants Malka the Fury. Make this guy look like a real clown.
You see why he's my best friend, right?
Best friend in the rest.
This guy.
All right, so yeah, Malka the Fury is a man of little cloth. He's very much like a giant half-orc Aladdin, and that he has this big split half vest and the big puffy, Aladdin pants that are just cinched with a little brown tassel that he's, tied pretty tightly. You, again, because of your arcane trickster ability, your mage hand is invisible. So again, being completely concealed, no way for anybody to see you do this. You judged it out, and you feel that arcane energy reach out, and you see, almost with your third eye, the magic eye, you see this spectral hand reaching forward, and you see it go right over the shoulder of a mercenary, and he doesn't notice it at all. You reach forward, you direct it, and I think you could move it 30 feet, so it'll actually reach 5, 10. Yep, 30 feet.
What?
And you see the hand, dodging a little bit of meat hanging nearby, grabs the tassel and slips it. He's gonna make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage because he's grappled.
True that. Wish me luck, y'all.
Oh, he
You don't need
crit,
luck,
but then
buddy.
he got a 17. So he's good enough. He's actually quick enough to catch his pants. As his arms get forced down, he catches his pants and notices this moment of embarrassment. And he can't believe he's getting outstrengthed by Thoricus right now, while at the same time dealing with this embarrassing fiasco. All the mercenaries are gonna laugh at you.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
I kind of want to start that chant.
They're not called dirty pillows, mother. They're called Malka the Fury.
You know what they say about
What?
giant underbites?
I wanna yell, more like
I need you to
Malka
tell
the
it.
Pantsless.
Oh!
Oh!
He sees, this big, mighty, furious man, not used to being the mocked in such a way. Kind of, you see his will is shaking a little bit. He's looking down at his, rippling muscles that are getting bent down to his side as he's gripping the top of his pants from falling down. The mercenaries around, Nasta, seem to just be engaged in what's happening, not necessarily picking a side in this moment, just enjoying the strength and fury.
Yes, woman.
All right, anybody else outside the pit that didn't get to go yet?
I haven't gone since I moved the.
Yes,
Yeah.
You're up. You shout out with your insults, the pantsless, and you see him kind of shaking. But you have the rest of your turn. What would you like to do?
So I make sure I want to run up to the edge of the hole, probably, and I yelled that. I wanted to run up and yell that at the same time.
Okay.
Running
have
up
my-
to the edge of the hole? That's what you're gonna yell?
Running
Running up to the edge of the hole!
I'm running. No, I yelled the thing at the same time. I yelled, more like Malka the pantsless, like I yelled like that.
You see the mercenary that you run up next to. He's got this big drawn hood. You know, it's like pulled over his head. And he's kind of dancing, rocking, and he looks up at you with this sinister smile, and is like, almost a fool, rocket master. And he jumps back, but you see, he seems to have appreciated your joke.
It's a good joke. Solid.
Good joke, bro. Good joke.
Thank you.
All right. So here we are. We are at the swelling moment. You know, Thoricus, you've grabbed the arms and bent them back down to his waist. You haven't grappled, which means he can't move. But currently, you are also grappling him, so you can't move. What do you want to do?
Well, I want to try to embarrass him more, obviously.
Obviously.
These people thrive on strength. I mean, like, I'm just putting their biggest dude down. So,
True.
I mean, yeah, let's do that. Let's see if I can get him in, like, a... Oh, can I get him in a... What's that? The Bret Hart move. The,
like figure 4 leg lock or whatever?
Yeah,
The
sharpshooter.
sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter, thank you. I couldn't think of it.
Beautiful.
All right.
Nice.
I would see if I can, like, get him in a grapple and, like, get him down, flip him over, and then...
Yes, so this will be another contested strength check, Drew.
Ooh.
You see, you're trying to force him down and get the leg turned and pull up and get the glory shot. But he, is fighting against you the whole time. Go ahead and give me a strength check. Ooh, he did pretty good. All right, so 19 over an 11. You see, as you start turning him, and you kind of try to sweep the legs out from under him.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
As you sweep the leg, the bridge begins to swing with that momentum, and he, having been in this situation perhaps a few more times than you, seems more able to move as the bridge kind of takes your feet out from under you a little bit, and you both fall back on your butt as the bridge swings back and forth. You see as he starts building in anger, you see all the veins in his throat and arms start surging with energy as you see him go into a rage. Foam starts kind of beckoning out of the corner edge of his mouth. You see his whole body starts shaking and his muscles seem to grow in size. And he kind of gets forward into like a football, one arm down, 2 legs behind, crouched position, and seems to be waiting for you to prepare yourself as well.
Is it still my turn?
Yes.
Because I tried to put him in the sharpshooter, so...
Oh, that's right. No, he passed, yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, so that's you guys are there. You're not actually prone or anything. You managed to get yourself up into position as well, too. And you guys are just standing off kind of like the surge of the second wave.
Well, then, yeah, I'll square off against him, too, and I'll start yelling, I'll start flexing, and I'll start getting...
You feel the raka, flowing into you as you get into it, too. And through this connection, through this moment, this glorious energy of the battle trodden, this second, not the actual second wind ability, but this second wind fills your spirit. All that strength and energy you just wasted trying to get him into move, it refills again, and you feel revitalized and ready for a fresh attack. That inspiration that you burnt comes back. All right, so people outside of the pit, what are we doing?
So they're both down in stances, just being gnarly at each other.
Yeah, like basically two dogs on a leash.
Biffed it with the. All right, I biffed it with the axe, but I look at Thoricus again, and I reach into my pocket and I grab the oil that I have a little bit of, and I like bite the top off of it, and I throw the thing of oil at the feet of the half-orc.
All right, so that's going to be a ranged attack roll. Now, there's a little risk in this. You're not proficient in throwing oil bottles. So, You bite it off, the oil bottle subclass that we will definitely have in Ganjaria. But you basically grenade this oil bottle. Now, the risk is, if you miss pretty bad, you could potentially put oil on Thoricus.
But oil could be an advantage or a disadvantage. He's a smart boy.
Oil
That's
does
true.
I've
wrestling.
been in a bunch of different situations where that has been one or the other, and sometimes
But this
both.
this orc looks dumb as fuck. So
Right?
is
All
that
right, bro.
politically correct?
So what you're
I
gonna
don't
do?
think that he matriculated from anywhere.
All right, what's the check?
So you're gonna make a attack roll. So it'll be a D20 plus your dexterity modifier, which I think might be 3.
All right, well, there's the D20.
Oh, that's good enough. That's a nice solid with the plus. What is it?
Enough.
Plus 3? I believe it's plus 3. 18. You managed
plus 5.
plus. Oh yeah, plus. You have a 20 dex?
No. What am I looking at?
Oh, you're probably looking at the saving throw.
Oh, 3.
Yeah,
I'm
plus
looking
3.
at saving
Yeah.
throws.
So with plus 3, you got an 18. Definitely good enough. That's a very accurate throw. You throw the oil, and it breaks at the feet. Suddenly, the mercenaries around you turn and look. They all see the vial thrown, and they seem hostile about it. Cheetah! Cheetah! And they
Oh yeah.
positioning themselves potentially maybe for some battle. It's only the ones over by you though, so it's this one here and these two here. You see the Shamanastas are still kind of so tore up and playing the drum beat for this sweet epic moment that nobody really on the other side of the pit has taken notice of you. But currently these two up here and this one have taken affront to your interacting with the Rockinasta.
I'm like, no rules, right?
Give me a deception. 17's good enough. So the farthest one, the one over by Brenor, you see just kind of like waves it off and just is like more interested in seeing what the oil is going to add to this mix. But
Right.
these other two divot are still hostile. This one here by Tina and this one down here. But you did manage to, with your deception, lessen the attention. You have two people that are paying attention to you.
Yeah, my attitude is fuck those guys.
Damn.
So Tina, you see Divot standing close to the edge of this pit, the blue silver fog that chokes the air around it. You sense that he's in great danger, and you fear for his safety.
I want to play along, and I'm going to use this opportunity perhaps to take the axe. I'm going to say, no rules! Yeah! And I'm going to
Get it.
run up and grab the axe.
And just grab it. You're just gonna hold it.
Does she still have thaumaturgy? Can she just blast that to everyone?
Yeah!
Like, no rules!
No rules! Yeah! Great idea! No rules!
All right, so let me get a strength check from you too. This axe is very heavy, very north of 100-pound axe. I mean, just like a man, your little halfling strength. You got to pick it up. Either way, you'll get your thaumaturgy off. That's fine. But or you can just roll a d20 and add your strength modifier as
My
well.
browser's being a little slow, I'm sorry.
Roll 20 slow sometimes.
That's why I
Rarely.
sing. That's why I sing.
Raise the wheel of death, we gotta wait a minute, sorry.
That's okay, it's a dance break. That's okay, it's a dance break. Everybody in the chat, shimmy your shoulders. Everybody.
I can ask Siri to roll a d20, can't I?
Here, I'll just hit it. I got you. I'll just roll a d20.
Okay.
And then what is your strength?
It's good.
I think it's probably not
Oh my
great.
god, everything is so choppy, I can't see anything.
I can jump.
No, the internets.
It's alright.
Oh, no.
Sometimes when you scroll, you like minimize it. I got you. So your strength is actually 14. You're pretty strong for a little. For a little halfling woman. You don't need
She's
no
strong.
She's strong, girl.
Wow.
Get it. So yes, with your 13, that's enough to pick it up. You know, you're not really able to like gorilla press it in the air or anything, but you know, as you start, it's the same kind of thing that Divot is. As you try to pick it up, you feel your arms pulled. You can't believe it, but you flex them guns, and you manage to hold it up like this. No rules, it blows through, and we're gonna do this. We'll see. I'm just gonna give them all this check. 1 through 9.
9.
Don't
Oh
agree.
man.
Oh, 3. So yeah, it did not unfortunately affect them in a way. Again, you still have the attention of the 2 that were hostile. No new ones, however.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yay.
So there's
Alright.
that.
Rial, you're up.
So how much of the oil? What's the oil status? How much of it is on Malka right now?
So if you recall, you actually used half of the oil oiling up your crocodile to get him in the carriage. So it was only half a vial. So rather than covering like a full 5-foot space or square, it's just kind of like a small puddle at his feet. His throw is dead on. It lands right at his feet. And you see the black oil kind of sloop up on his feet. They're starting to kind of slide on the bridge. And even the bridge itself is still, rocking back and forth from the mighty bodies colliding on it. But yes, he is, his feet are covered in oil right now.
Okay. I would like to throw a little surprise his way. I want to do a quick create bonfire, igniting the oil.
All right.
Yeah.
So you kind of from behind the shoulder of the mercenary after your first spell, made it through undetected. You start getting that devious, all the twisted tormenting that you went through in your life gave you a little bit of a devious streak in your mind, and you see this pool of oil and a little bit of that pyro instinct starts clouding, and you're like, ooh, and you feel your fingers start moving almost without you telling it to do so, and then you picture the fire in your mind. You see it rising up and just engulfing Malka the Fury, and you see it burn him down to the skeleton of a man as Thoricus stands laughing mightily at him, and then you flash back into reality and your fingers move about. You summon a bonfire. It fills the 5-foot cube, making so he has to make a dexterity saving throw or take some damage. Here's his dex save. Now you guys don't get to see their rolls, so that's a 16. That's a good enough. But so he doesn't take damage. There's no half damage on this. However, he is now standing on fire. He is also standing on wood. You see the bridge begins burning. You guys, all of a sudden the fire starts surrounding you guys, like the end of a Mortal Kombat movie. And you're standing there as the bridge starts catching on fire in a half circle around the both of you. Fire at both of your backs as you stand facing each other in this glorious moment. The wind and the raka blowing at the flames, making the bonfire grow even higher around you as you stand in between this circle of magical fire that now has been caught by this wind and circles around you. Brunor, what do you do?
I lean over to the guy next to me and I ask him, what happens if he dies? And then I point at Malka.
He just kind of looks at you with a smile. He never dies.
Yeah, but what if?
But then, so I kind of leaned in. So in the whole flurry of the fire and everything, and everyone's watching all this happen, I trip and push him into the hole.
Nice. All right.
Good for you.
So give me a strength check. A push is a thing.
Nice,
You give me a strength check. You have advantage because he doesn't know you're gonna do it. It's like you're just kind of talking to him casually, and then.
Fuck yeah.
Do it.
It's going, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's going.
We push
Give
the
it another
button, and then the thing happens sometimes.
What?
Rolling a natural 1.
Oh no.
Oh no, you have advantage though because he didn't see. So the way for the edition it works, if you cannot see a thing, it has advantage against you. And so in this instant, your advantage, your clever ruse of pretending to be asking him further questions, you boom, just check 20 feet, big boy,
Nice.
elbow to the back. You hear the air in his lungs kind of like get knocked out of his throat as he falls in. You see kind of that white cloud of smoke kind of blow out and then wrap over the circle of the darkness that he fell through, and almost as if the shadow consumes him. You hear from inside. Thoricus,
Yes.
what do you do?
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So the bridge is on fire,
The bridge is on fire.
and his boots are on fire. Or
And
he's
his
standing in it?
boots-
Or
Yes, he's like actively on fire. He will take fire damage on his turn, which is happening basically at the same time as yours. But you're not in the fire. His throw is good enough. The fire has worked its way around you. Like I said, create bonfire. Normally it would just be a little 5-foot square, but this wave of the Raka has picked up the flames and created this giant spectacle of the battle of these two strong forces, seemingly in sync with the intensity of the moment. Fire at your back, however, yes.
Wait, at my back? Oh, yeah,
Yes.
behind me. It went all the way around.
Yeah.
Son of
Yeah.
a...
Fire do that.
Yeah, sure. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna just keep mollywopping this dude. Trying to.
All right, so what do you want to do? Do you want to try to grab him again? Do you want to try to hit him? Do you
He's on fire, so I don't want to get myself on fire. Can I Spartan kick his ass back towards the other side of the ring?
Nice.
You absolutely can. Give me an attack.
Yeah. Just an attack roll or
Yeah,
strength
give me a D20 plus your strength modifier and your proficiency. You're proficient in kick. So
Who
it's
is
2 plus you have a +5 strength now, right? So I think it's +7 to whatever you roll. Yes, you successfully hit him.
Spartan kick the ever-loving shit out of his chest.
Boom, go ahead. This time he will. Let's see if you actually can kick him back into the fire more. But he tries to stand his ground. He gets a 14. Go ahead and give me a strength check. And you see him as your foot, you thrust with your strong calves, forcing your little foot forward. You kick him right in his chest, and you do manage to knock him back.
He's rolling hot tonight.
Right into the ring of fire.
Ring of fire.
So let me move him. Sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. There we go. Boom. So he's going to take both the damage. So it would be a D4 plus your strength. So D4 plus 5 for the kick. 6 damage. And he takes a D8 fire damage from the burning flame circle that you kicked him into. So another 4 points of fire damage.
Can I, oh, well, it's not a weapon though, it's kick, right? So I can't great weapon fighting because I'm not fighting with great.
Correct.
God damn it.
Yeah, if you were using a great weapon fighting, you could re-roll.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's your successful kick. Now, this
I did kick the shit out of him though.
You kick it back. You see he lands. You put you feel
I'll
your
take a
foot
bleed inside my chest.
catch right into his solar plex. You lean back and just thrust yourself up. You kick him right in the soft spot. He falls back into the circular flames that surround you guys that seem to wisp with the wind, burning all around you. He screams out as the flames sear his skin. Now, this is a big roll. The bridge makes a saving throw and passes.
Yeah.
All right, so that is done. Now, what about my outsiders? What are you guys doing?
You're up, Ralph Macchio.
Yeah. So I would like to. I see the fight that's going on, and I wanna chill touch, half orc dude from under, so that it looks like it's coming from out of the pit, so no one suspects me.
Okay. So go ahead. Yeah, let me see which.
So it's like the pit is angered by this man.
Can you give him a frozen shocker?
Oh my
The pit
God.
is angered by this man. Alright,
Touch of all.
chill. The illest of the
The
chillest.
illest. The illest. Touch. The illest.
Them digits is
illest.
rigid.
What?
Sorry, I'm waiting on it to load.
That's
And
For.
bleh,
Boom goes done.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Kasha.
a mighty fist from beneath.
19 AC is good enough to hit for the searing pain of 1 damage.
Woo!
Searing.
You see, Divot, you kind of like reach down and feint with your head a little bit, and you bring up the skeletal hand from the base of the pit. You make it where the smoke kind of whirls a little bit as it pierces through the gray-blue skeletal hand that reaches up and through a crack in the bridge manages to poke him. You see him reach back. And he shouts at the searing necrotic damage. Not cold damage. Not like you would think with chill touch. Nope. One necrotic damage. I don't have a problem with that. Everything's fine. All right. So the one that noticed you, Divot, is going to attempt to 5, 10, 15. He's going to attempt a competing strength check with you.
The
He
fool.
wants to. You see, he grabs you by your shoulders, and he's attempting to throw you into the pit.
Can I try to dodge him?
So it's basically his turn. He's going to try to engage you in a grapple. He won't be able to throw you on this turn, but it'll be a competing strength check to see if he can grapple you.
Alrighty. Hey, get your hands off me!
There it is.
He rolled terrible. You got a 4. So yeah, you see,
Oodraka!
grabs you and he's like, Cheetah! Cheetah! And you're just like, get off me, bro. And so yeah, he's just trying to like grab at you. He doesn't have you officially held. You can still move and everything. You're not restrained. But his attempts to grab you and like throw you, you feel him trying to pull you toward the pit. Your feet are set and sturdy. Rial, what do you do?
Oh God. The way all this is going, I don't even know. I just want to boost up some of this prestidigitation. We'll just keep going with that. I think every time Drew speaks, it's got the same slow motion, like louder echoing effect, and the flames in his eyes have doubled.
Yeah, so it's like, they just start jetting out and burning with severe burning fire as the circle of fire burns all around him. Thoricus on his heart, piercing the sky with his energy full of the Raka.
You want to say strength?
You see the Raka fusing itself with the fire. The circle begins raising higher and higher, 50 feet in the sky, reaching as if toward the sun. Tina, what do you do?
Sorry about my connection getting a little stoned earlier, by the way. I think I don't want to engage with anybody because I don't want to start a big ruckus. I want to just.
You have the attention. Divot in front of you, standing in front of you. There's a guy basically with hands on his shoulders. Again, just for narrative effect, he doesn't actually have you held. So Divot is kind of like going at it with this guy who's trying to throw him in the pit. Behind you, you know that he is seemingly hostile as well. The one that stands behind you to your side. They seem to have noticed like your guys' interaction with the Rakanasta.
Threw a guy in.
Throw him in the pit!
I'm not trying to throw anybody in the pit. I just want to ready an action.
There's already one guy down there.
I don't want to start a big thing. I'm gonna ready.
He needs a
I'm
friend.
gonna ready
Fit.
sacred flame.
You gotta uppercut him into the pit to unlock Reptile.
No. I don't want to start anything. That's for you.
Don't start shit, ain't gonna be shit.
Mm-hmm.
You see this jetting fire cylinder in front of you. Even as a religious person, this Raka is not a god you're familiar with, but in this moment, you're almost certain, as you are of the presence of Tharizdun in the world, that this Raka is some very powerful force. You see this burning cyclone of fire building up in front of you.
I take the moment, I look around and I say a silent prayer to myself, and I ready Sacred Flame in case this man strikes me.
So, you keep your back shoulder to him, and in order to ready the action, you do actually cast the spell. You just kind of hold it in your hand, and so you make the hand motions and you reach out with your prayer to Tharizdun, and that connection that you two have. He fills you with the sudden, that searing flame that just floats like a ball of energy in your hand, but then you hide with your shoulder to the guy, just behind you, but it stands ready. If he were to strike you, he's gonna get one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brenor, what do?
You're gonna get a flaming backhand.
So
The
I
Shamanasta is near you, still playing drums, hasn't paid attention to you.
I'm about to engage with her. Okay, I'm gonna I'm like kind of trying to pick up on the thing, on like what's going on. Like everyone's the beating drum and like everyone's kind of dancing, and that's giving Malka like power. I feel like he's like getting more excited with more of that stuff. So I kind of want to see what happens if I change it. And I say I go Thoracus, 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 and I was starting to try to get the Shamanasta to play that instead.
Okay. All right, so you see, it's like when somebody's singing a song one note off key, and you're just like, God, I'm trying to keep a drum beat. You see, she's getting a little upset at your ability.
But he's kicking ass, so I'm trying to be check this out though. We should support this guy.
So yes,
right.
you see.
He's pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
I'm of course using my thaumaturgy.
She
Thoracus,
reads,
Thoracus.
and you see the song ends, and a new song begins.
Yeah.
You have successfully changed the song of the
Yes!
moment. No longer is Malka receiving the boon of the inspiration of all of his followers. For a moment, he feels detached. This
New
epic
song,
moment,
it's like,
fire around him.
Caribbean Queen.
He looks back, he sees this dwarf in front of him. He stands, his hands reach back and hold his body up on the burning boards as fire sears at his skin. In this moment, he looks at you and laughs. Let's see how you fare with my pet. And he punches down and breaks the bridge. Thoracus, you feel the ground fall out from underneath you.
Figured that was
As you fall, you feel as you suck in air, that feeling in your stomach as you start to drop a distance. You're you suck in that powdery smoke of statue dust into your lungs as you fall downward. You start hearing the sound. It feels like an echo. You fall 25 feet. Roll 2d6 damage, please. Oh, I can do it. I'll save us some time.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, it's more responsive to me. 6. So Thoracus, you fall for 6 damage on the ground. You hear the thud of Malka landing beside you. You see the flaming embers of the ground as pieces of wood fall from the sky next to you, burning and illuminating the shadowy darkness around you, the air full of smoke. You hear the Medusa chattering in the back. You feel her all around you, but you cannot see her anywhere. You start to avoid your eyes, fearing what you may see. The 4 of you standing on the rim, you see as this giant cyclone of fire blows out a wave of energy that knocks every single person back on their feet. You see, as you start to fall toward the ground, the bridge holding up Thoracus and Malka the Fury gives way, and you see Thoracus reach out as his hand disappears into the smoke.
Can I give him one of these?
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
Please.
And that is where we will pick it up
Dude.
next time. Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to play the Medusa thing again, and it was frozen. But Roll20 is great, and we love it. So, yes. Oof. All right. The Rocky.
Oh, man.
Gorgeous.
I'm feeling it. I feel the Rocka. I feel it.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Thanks to this wonderful group of players. You guys are amazing. This is the best part of my week every week. And we thank you guys so much for sharing it with us, coming and just hanging out and watching and throwing it on when you do it's all the support that you guys have given us is way beyond my expectations. And I'm humbled and I feel so loved. And it's such a wonderful thing to get to share with you guys. I know it's getting high and playing D&D, but we're just trying to showcase, some of the better parts of both of these cultures and just have a hell of a lot of a good time doing it. So thanks to my cast because you bring it every single week. And I love you guys. Don't forget, legalize cannabis. And hopefully we will see you guys here next Tuesday. And if you want to catch up on some of our other content, we've got an interview that you can see with us from Behind the Greens that we did on Friday if you missed it. And it'll be posted up here on YouTube shortly, youtube.com/ArtHardStudios. Be sure to subscribe. We're going to be bringing you tons more content as we are able to. Thank you so much, guys, cast, the fucking Ferocious Five. Mwah. Love you guys. Let's take those lighters, as we like to do, and go lighters up. Thanks for joining us, guys. We love you. Woo! I didn't get my mustache. I know it looked like I got my mustache, but I didn't get mine.
Oh, yes! So what? You can't touch me, because I'm from the internet.